evening from the second restrictor plate course of the season, and good evening from beautiful Alabama, where we are at Talladega Super Speedway tonight for the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series right here at the Sim500 Racing League. John Mushel will be joining me on the call tonight. I am Ben Kilcrease, and Mitch Rollo going to be getting the picture that you see to you, John. Glad to have you back. We're in Alabama tonight. My home state is just across the way from you, and here we are, the biggest racetrack of the season, the fastest racetrack of the season, Talladega.
Oh, I love me some Talladega. Woohoo! Yeah, buddy, this is a great track. I love it. 2.6 miles of speed and excitement. And you know what, Ben? I noticed that Klickerman's not here tonight, so we should be okay for the race.
Oh no, he went there. Let's take a look. You mentioned 2.6 miles. Let's take a look at the Fast Track Sims track facts for tonight here at Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 miles, and John, the banking in the turns, 32.5 degrees. That is just absolutely. If you haven't been to Talladega and done the track tour, I mean, you have to. If you're in the area, you just have to do it. These banks are just unbelievable. The banking in the turns are just unbelievable. TV doesn't show it justice. Photos doesn't show it justice. You just got to get out there and see it for yourself. Opened way back in 1969, seats 80,000 fans, and you know, on the track facts we have, well, the big one, John. We saw it at Daytona a couple times, and we hope we can steer clear of it. We've had some fantastic racing over the past couple of weekends here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series. We took the last week off for Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. But tonight here, John, we've seen how these cars are in a draft. You got to be careful on those bumpers to avoid that big one.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Here at Dega, you've got a lot more room to run with. You know, it's a wider track, a little bit wider than Daytona was, and I think we'll be okay. But drafting is going to be key here. Keeping the fenders on the car is going to be key here. If you get damaged up, you know, too much damage, you're going to lose that draft. You're not going to be able to keep up with the pack. But, yeah, I tell you what, though, Ben, on a track like this, you got so many strategies. Do I lay back for the first half of the race, then make my charge forward? Do I find me a dancing partner and get up there and duke it out for the lead? So many things can happen at this track. That's what makes it so entertaining.
Certainly could. I want to give a shout out to Larry Pace on his victory at the last event at Texas Motor Speedway. Remember that dominant performance he had. He'll be looking to head back to victory lane tonight here at Talladega. Tonight's race, 76 laps, 202 miles, one of the longest races on the schedule. And the pit road speed limit is 55 miles per hour. John, that's going to play a factor into if we get some green flag pit stops. You know, going from 200 mile an hour down to 55. That's 75% that you got to cut off your speed in a matter of about 1,000, 1,200 feet coming off turn 4. So that's always a hectic part of the race if we get to those green flag pit stops.
You're absolutely right, Ben, and we've seen it in the past in the series. Guys making mistakes on pit stops, taking themselves out of contention for the win. We saw Sheehan do it, our points leader. So, you know, you're right. Pit roads could play a part in this if they have green flag pit stops. That also tends to spread the field out. You know, we always start off with a big pack, and if it goes green long enough and they start doing those green flag pit stops, it thins that crowd out a little bit and makes a little bit more, you know, a little bit more racing and not so much wrecking.
That it does. And you mentioned the strategies for tonight. You know, it's really just up in the air as opposed to what you want to do. There's so many different strategies you can take. We saw, no matter where you were in the field at Daytona back on our last restrictor plate track, John, that you could be caught up in the big one almost virtually anywhere. Front of the pack, middle of the pack, back of the pack, and the only safe guys are really the guys that are a straightaway or half a track back from the incident. So, you know, the racer in these, the racing blood in these drivers is going to tell them, you know, I got to get up here. I got to put on a show for the fans. We're going to get a show nonetheless. I mean, these guys will be 3 and 4 wide. It just it's going to be dependent on who is willing to push the whole way, John. Not just at the end of the race, but some of these guys, they love just going out here and racing. They really don't care if they crash. They just love the fact of restrictor plate racing, and that's what they love doing.
Absolutely. I was watching some of these guys in practice. There was a lot of overheating going on, Ben. I saw a couple of guys blow some motors from pushing for too long. I'm not sure what tape they're running on this setup, but that might be something to keep our eye on. You can only push right up against that bumper for so long, and then your gauges start screaming at you, telling you we need to cool it off a little bit.
That they do. So here we go. We're just moments away from the drop of the green flag at Talladega Superspeedway. So glad you've tuned in with us right here on the Sim Racing Network. If you haven't liked us yet on Facebook, be sure to head over to facebook.com/The Sim Racing Network. You can also just search us on Facebook. Just type in The Sim Racing Network. Give us a like so you can stay up to date on all the latest happenings right here at the SRN. If you want to visit our website, check out our rates. If you want an event broadcasted yourself, visit us on the web at thesimracingnetwork.com. If you're watching live from YouTube tonight, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. Here we go, John, as we get set to run through the starting lineup for this evening. Let's take a look at it. Steve Sheehan, championship leader. He leads by 150 points. He says, I'm not taking it easy tonight. I'm going to try and extend that lead. He'll lead us off from the pole to his outside, actually tied to the 1,000th of a second for the pole position. Tommy Ryan in that number 99.
That's a fascinating time right there. I didn't even notice that you brought it up. Jordan Hightower brings it up in third place. Next to him is Byron Daly. They ran a really close speed as well, a .751 to a .754.
Very close times throughout the field as Chad Coleman will start the race rather in fifth. To his outside will be Bobby Wetzel in that number 9.
And behind him in the next row, starting seventh, will be Randy Yoakum in the number 8 ride, and Shane Ewing in the number 32 starts in 8th.
Chris Caboo and Nick Silver round out the top 10. The rest of the starting grid will roll across the bottom of your screen. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Back to Talladega as we get set to roll off from the grid. The starting grid tonight was brought to you by RacingBids.com, the premier auction site for NASCAR and other racing merchandise. Never miss an opportunity to pick up awesome autographed die-cast shirts, trading cards, and other racing merchandise every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern on the RacingBids.com's Facebook live stream. John, let's talk to a driver as we get set to take the green here at Talladega for 76 laps.
How about you, Sean Dewar? You got your ears on?
Yes, sir.
Well, Sean, it's good to see you tonight. For those of you that don't know, Sean Dewar is the creator and founder of Old School's Motorsports Group, which contains the motorsports racing team, the graphics and designs team, and the gaming team that does a lot of Facebook Live and gaming broadcasts and whatnot. Sean, tell us about your ride tonight, buddy. How's it feel?
Well, yeah, it feels pretty decent, I guess. But all those great things you said about Old Schools, man, that's awesome. I'm sure a lot of the viewers, most of the viewers, don't know that this man is my partner. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but yes, this man is my partner at Old Schools, and he does an amazing job for me. But no, I'm excited to be here, man. I always love when you do the broadcast as well. Y'all do a damn good show. And I'm live streaming myself right now, and I've got viewers watching and listening to this as well. So I've been trying to get into this league for a while. I finally got it, and just glad to be here. So especially when you're broadcasting as well. So I appreciate that, guys.
Well, welcome aboard, Sean. I wish you luck tonight. Buckle them up, buddy, and get ready. You're about to go green, fam.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good time up there.
Sean Dewar rolling off from 40th starting position tonight here at Talladega Superspeedway. 76 laps ahead of us. It's the second restrictor plate race of the season, And we are underway in Alabama for 76 laps at Talladega. Sheehan gets a good jump already off to an early lead as they race down into turn number 1. John, it'll take all these cars about a lap to get up to full song and get drafted back up and form a big pack. As you see off of turn number 2, Sheehan getting help from Jordan Hightower on that inside line. They'll try and team up, but here comes the outside groove. Tommy Ryan coming back with help from Byron Daly.
I'm really surprised they're so spread out. We've only got 5 cars, right up front there. You've got Sheehan down there on the inside line, got the 50 pushing him, the 99's on the outside, and he's got some help there. And we got the next car back in 5th is the 20 car of Chad Coleman, but it looks like the rest of the pack's starting to bunch up, and once they do get bunched up nose to tail, we should see them draft up there and catch leaders pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, it'll be the accordion effect. We've seen that same sort of deal at Daytona. They'd go single file for 10 laps, it seems, and then they'd all bunch up 3 wide at one point and then be right back in the mix of things. It's going to be Steve Sheehan, championship leader, heading into tonight, leading lap number 1 here at Talladega, but Tommy Ryan right on his outside as they race off turn number 2, 2 by 2 up front, and then here comes that snarling little snake behind him, starting to wind up, starting to get some momentum, chasing down the top 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, that outside line, it usually comes in pretty late in the race once we get some rubber up there, and so I don't know if Tommy Ryan is going to have a whole lot of success getting by Sheehan down there on the inside without a little bit more help.
You also have to worry if the 08 machine, John, you mentioned overheating in the pre-race show. Byron Daly might be starting to get warm in that 08. You'll see him poke his nose out here and there, trying to get some extra air to the front end of that 08 machine. Don't want to overheat this early in the run and put yourself in jeopardy of costing yourself the race. And Daly's going to pull down. He finds a lane, finds a hole on the inside line, pulls down, and that's caused a big checkup behind him there. Everybody had to check up. Now here comes Daly. Lets Ryan fall behind him. Now Daly pulls up to the top, and here we go. We're starting to joust for position. The pack is forming. It's starting to get wild, and we're only on lap 3.
I'll tell you what, what a block the 50 just put on the 08 of Daly there. That was some Dale Jr. maneuvering Daly did to Ryan a minute ago. I tell you what, just kind of left him out to dry, which is a sick feeling when you're that car. And then as soon as he was by me, he ducked up again, trying to pull that outside line. It looks like they did it, but he's going to get bailed on by the 50 machine as Hightower takes the lead.
Hightower to the lead, pulls down in front of Sheehan. Now the championship leader is in the middle of the pack. You see one car dropping way back to the back. I can't get the number on it, but he says, "Okay, guys, getting a little out of control for me. I'm gonna just wait a couple laps." That was Bobby Wetzel. He's saying, "I haven't had the best season. I've been caught up in some wrecks, and not tonight. I'm gonna fall back and let you do your thing."
Yeah, I tell you what, they're dicing it up pretty hard up front there. I'm really surprised by this. We got a 3 wide situation coming up here. Oh, nope, 88 ducks back down in, and he decided not to push his luck right there. So right now, still up front, we've got Hightower in the lead, but he's being challenged on the outside by the number 99 of Tommy Ryan.
That it is. You see Daly actually drop to the inside line there. He leads the inside. Tommy Ryan leads the outside. Chris Caboo there in the 1 up on the outside line there as well, followed by Jason Jacoby in that number 88 machine. More cars starting to drop back to the back, saying, "Okay, it's getting a little crazy for lap 5. We're not even close to the 1/10 mark of this race yet. Still 2 laps to get to the 1/10 mark." So, John, these guys really starting to get racy early on here at Talladega.
I tell you what, Ben, it's a surprise. I really thought they'd kind of take it easy a little bit, but what do I know? Looks like Jacoby's got enough of that outside line going to drop down in behind the 50 of Hightower and help push that inside line out there past the 99. I tell you what, it's a lot of dice. We've got 4 wide going on back here. Oh, the 8 and the 00 are tying it up. The 41 gets to the back of the 48. That was close.
I'm not going to be able to hold my breath like this all night, John, or I'll pass out.
I'm saying this is we're only on lap 6, man. My goodness, we got 70 more laps of this stuff.
Challenge for the lead again, and this time it's Jordan Hightower trying to get back around Byron Daly, still 2 by 2 at the front of the field. Daly has help from Jacoby on the bottom. Hightower has help from Tommy Ryan up top. as they race off of corner number 4. Daly has the advantage. We go on board with that number 1 machine. That's Chris Caboo with the FEG onboard cam. He's right in the middle of this thing on the outside there, third in line.
That outside line's just a little scrambled up back there, about 6 cars back. Once they get organized and get a little bit better, oh, we got a slow car up high, way up high there that the guy's going to try and navigate around there. But as I was saying, I think once they get a little more organized and get nose to tail, that outside line is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
That slow car was Doug Sigmund, John. Remember, he won back at Daytona, survived the race, and now early on in this one, he's already 1 lap down. So some work to do for Sigmund in that 06 machine if he's going to get that lap back. Clean and green so far, but we only work lap number 7 of 76 here at Talladega, and Jordan Hightower is coming back to the lead, and he's going to try and clear Daly through the trioval. Will he bring Ryan with him? No, he's going to pull out and leave him out to dry.
I'll tell you what, that's a common thing that happens a lot on these plate races. You just get dumped by your dancing partner unexpectedly. But I'll tell you what, Ryan's not giving up. He's got the 1 pushing him now, coming up behind him, going to try and push him out to that lead, the number 52 car. Where's he been all night? We're just not talking about Carl Dotson, and he's up there on the outside lane, third in line.
Watch E.J. O'Rourke in that outside line, 3 wide up around the rim here at Talladega Super Speedway. He's tried the third lane for a couple laps now, and now he's getting some momentum. Here comes E.J. O'Rourke with that third line being pushed by the number 15 machine of Nick Silver. Close call there as Byron Daly was sideways to the trioval, but E.J. O'Rourke leading that third line. Side by side, they go again for the lead. Daly to the outside of Hightower. 2 by 2 they go. What a race these fans are getting tonight, and what a race these drivers are putting on for us. I know it's fun inside the car, a little hectic if you're watching from upstairs because look how tight they are.
Wow, still taking 3 wide out there is 41 excuse me, of O'Rourke. His dancing partner left him, though, got back down the middle line there, but he's got some help coming up in the form of the 00 car, but I don't think it's going to be in time to save him from dropping back at least 6 or 7 spots.
Yeah, Nick Silver would have stayed with O'Rourke there. They could have had a bid for the lead, but Silver decides to drop into line behind the 1 machine. Now O'Rourke will do the same behind Silver, and they'll start to continue rather to work 2 by 2 as opposed to the 3 by 3. Byron Daly back to the inside line. He pulls down in front of Hightower to regain the lead, regain control of that inside line. Tommy Ryan works that top groove in the number 99 machine. He's got help from Chris Caboo, and look at this pack, John. They are now 2 by 2 from first to last.
It's crazy. I tell you what, O'Rourke really wants to get that third line running again up top. I keep seeing him poke his nose out there, hoping somebody will go with him, but nobody's gone with him just yet, so he's going to tuck back in line there behind the 15 of Nick Silver and play it safe for now. Up front, though, Daly's getting a huge push from the 50 car, and he and the 50 have cleared the rest of these guys.
That they have, and they are, look at the bump drafting going on between the front 2. Hightower all over the rear bumper of Byron Daly as we work lap number 11 here at Talladega Super Speedway. John, have you ever wanted to know right when the caution come out with bright lights in your face, or maybe when you have a meatball flag, white flag, checkered flag, etc., you can know all that with the LEDs in iFlag. Visit iRacingIFlag.com today to find out more information on their iFlag system and to check out their digital pit box. So it completely hands-free, gives you all the info that your black boxes do. That's, again, iRacingIFlag.com.
Meanwhile, up top again there, Ben, they got the 15 of Silver and the 41 of O'Rourke. They've got help in the form of the 48 and the 51, making that third high line work there. They're definitely pulling up towards the front. And I tell you what, they got another car joining in the fun down there, the 6 car, the Valvoline ride, number 42 Monster ride. They're going to kind of join in this little scramble here to get up front, and it looks like Silva's about to challenge for the lead.
You call it a little scramble there, John. I'm going to correct you. This is a big scramble here at the front. 3 by 3, they go for the lead. Silver all the way up to the top side of the racetrack. That's Hightower in the middle and Byron Daly on the low side. Unbelievable racing. Off turn number 4. Remember, John, it was 3 wide racing at Daytona that ended it for basically the whole field. Oh, man, look at the 52 there. up the track in the tri-oval. A close call there. Man, oh man, John, the best thing about Talladega, it's about a groove wider than Daytona. So these guys are a little bit more comfortable running 3 wide as opposed to on the narrow Daytona International Speedway we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that little wiggle by Dotson back in the tri-oval, that's a common thing that happens here at Talladega. There's like a little, I don't want to call it a ditch, but a groove about 3 foot up from the yellow line there. And if you hit that seam just right, your car will try its best to get out from underneath you. In the meantime, that top line lost a lot of momentum there. I'm not sure what happened, but they're dropping back fast. And it looks like they're going to duck inside there, the high side there.
Man, oh man, this race is unbelievable this early on. Lap 13, and now, John, once we get this big pack rolling, these guys are starting to think in the back of their head. They're saying, okay, I'm on the outside line here. How am I going to get to the bottom when it's time to go pitting? And, my fuel's running low.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuel window is there, Ben. I didn't even look into that before the race there, but that's a good question. We've seen in the past where if they don't communicate properly with each other through the channels they have there, that could lead to disaster when one guy tries to get down pit and there's already a car right there. It usually does not end well for anybody.
But it doesn't. Hightower surges ahead for a brief moment as Jacoby has to back off of Byron Daly through the tri-oval. Will Hightower pull low? No. For the first time tonight, John, he's staying with the 99 of Tommy Ryan on that outside groove, and now he slides in front of Daly in turn 1. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I tell you what, he thought about it for a minute there, but then I guess he realized that's his teammate down there or something, I don't know. But back up on that outside line again. O'Rourke, here he comes. The 41 car, he's got the number 42 Monster Energy ride of David Comstock, trying to help him get up there. Behind Comstock, you got the 10 coming with the 23 and the 31. They're going to try and make that third line up there work again. And I tell you what, that's 3x3x3 is always entertaining to watch, especially with these cars at Talladega.
Certainly is. We're on board with David Comstock, who started way back in 30th, and he was scored inside the top 7 last go around. This time of the line, it'll be probably around top 10 for the 42 machine. But man, oh man, a good run for Comstock. Haven't mentioned him all night until just now, and we work lap 16 here at Talladega Super Speedway. 3 wide racing all around the racetrack. Up front, 3x3x3 for about 20 cars deep, and then you have to go back for about I'd say a couple hundred yards or so to find the first single file line of cars that are just back there, John. They're riding, they're taking it easy. They're saying, oh boy, it's a little dicey, too dicey up in the lead pack for me. I'm gonna just give them a minute, let them sort their stuff out. I'm gonna be back here so I can avoid anything that were to happen.
I'm telling you, I'm watching the 07 there of Kinzer. He and the 52 like to wipe each other out just now. They were wiggling really bad coming down to that turn. That's I wouldn't say it's a problem with these cars, but it's a characteristic of these cars, Ben. They move around a lot. You can see it here as we're watching this race. They boogie and they wiggle.
That they do, and the thing we haven't mentioned is tire wear. It's not as prevalent as you'd see at a mile and a half as we go 4 wide for a brief moment. How about that for a salute for the fans? Man, oh man. But these cars here, John, running at over 200 mile an hour, tire wear does come into play in the latter part of these runs. The cars start pushing up. They start getting more loose over the run. That tri-oval gets trickier and trickier lap by lap. And, all it takes is one mistake, and, we're going to wipe out 30 cars here in this lead pack.
Yeah, you said it, Ben. Once these tires start wearing down, these guys are putting more wheel into it. The 14 back there, he's wiggling pretty bad.
And we got a crash. Caution is out. 1 car upside down. That's Corey Chester in the 11. We get the replay pulled up, and John, that happened right in front of him. And just took a minute for everything to kind of sort its way out, but then Chester gets up and over. Barrel rolls multiple times up on the banking there, comes the rest, and that was probably a 5-car incident. Some other cars getting involved further back in the pack there. those guys that thought they were out in the clear were the ones that ended up getting almost the worst part of that. But that could have been a whole lot bigger than it was, and for the most part, 4 or 5 cars involved, putting us under caution for the first time here at Talladega.
Yeah, Ben, it looked like it started when the 45 got into the back of the 14, or excuse me, actually the 14 got in the back of the 48. He got loose. The 14 checked up, then the 45 checked up, and then somebody else tried to check up, and then as you saw from there on, we had a poor guy get barrel rolling up with the banking there. But that is a product of Talladega, folks. A lot of checking up, a lot of cars getting loose when they get bump drafted, unfortunately, but that's part of Talladega.
Chain reaction crash, or bringing out the first caution here tonight in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series. Tonight's action being brought to you by the Ford Entertainment Group. Be sure to like them on Facebook and subscribe to them on YouTube as well to be up to date with all their live races and all their giveaways, etc. Jeff Scott over at the Ford Entertainment Group will build your custom PC to your needs from beginner to hardcore enthusiasts. So be sure to hit him up with some of the cheapest prices in all of online gaming. Actually, John, I mean, his prices are just unbeatable. If you're in the market for a new PC, Ford Entertainment Group is where you should be looking.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but the 2 of our leaders up front just both slid through their pits. The 50 car had to back up, the Hightower car had to back up there. We went and said this at the beginning of the race, man. Mistakes on pit road are going to cost you. And on this track, they can cost you a lot. Luckily, it's under yellow, so they won't lose too much time. But, wow, the 99 comes out, I don't even know, probably 20th.
Yep, Hightower with a mistake, as is Tommy Ryan. So, both drivers come in top 5, leave most likely outside of the top 10. We'll run you through how pit stops shake up the field at Talladega right after this. You're watching Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series live on the Sim Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Alabama's Talladega Superspeedway, right here live on the Sim Racing Network. Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series is what's on track now for 76 laps. We've completed around 20 of those so far, serving the first caution of the night for a small incident in the middle of the pack. Next week, a busy week, rather, right here on the Sim Racing Network. Monday, it's the debut of the Joe Gibbs Racing off-season Sim Series. And then on Tuesday, we head to Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series for the Sim500. So a lot of action getting heated up, and John, we're looking forward to that. Also looking forward to getting the green flag back in the air here tonight at Talladega.
Yes, sirree, Bob. Let's get that green flag flying, get those laps winding down, see how this is going to end up. I'm curious as to how Tommy Ryan came out. It looks like he came out 7th. I was watching him in the pit stops there, Ben. It looked like they both slid through their pits there. He and Hightower, but it looks like they do all right. Hightower's in 2nd right now, and it looks like Tommy Ryan's in 7th.
Let the field circle around one more time and let scoring update at the line. Our overlay graphics provide live updates. Our scoring that we rely on, John, up here in the tower, is based off of the cars at the line. So we'll let everybody circulate around here, and then we'll comment on who's where and go from there. But for the most part, we were talking about it under commercial break there. Man, this race has been just phenomenal in the early stages. I mean, we've gone, that was an 18-lap run, it seems. Green flag, and for the most part, we were 3 by 3 by 3 the whole run.
And every once in a while, 4 when we're trying to get by the lap cars. The beer man was slowing things down for a little bit there, but yeah, I tell you what, it's been real entertaining so far, Ben, and I'm pleasantly surprised that we went almost 20 laps for the green flag run there, as opposed to what happened in our opening race of the season at Daytona. That was wow. That was all I can say. It was just wow.
Yeah, and even given the fact, John, that these guys were, I mean, there was no holding back in the first handful of laps here. These guys, they were going for it. They were just, there was no saving at all in the first, in the top 20 or so. They were going for the lead,
right.
3 by 3, and man, it was some good racing as we turned the lights off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car to RacingBids.com. Current standings right now has Carl Dodson atop the leaderboard with Jordan Hightower 2nd, 3rd to Byron Daly. Jason Kinzer is 4th, 5th to David Comstock. Jason Jacoby, Tommy Ryan, EJ O'Rourke, Eric Arnold, and Bobby Wetzel round out the top 10. That run through the standings was brought to you by RacingBids.com, the premier auction site for NASCAR and other racing merchandise. Never miss an opportunity to pick up an awesome autographed diecast shirt, trading cards, and other racing merchandise every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern on RacingBids.com, their Facebook live stream.
I tell you what, watching the first 18 laps has me excited for the next 18 laps. I want to see some green flag pit stops, though, Ben. I don't know about you, but I would really like to see some green flag pit stops and see how these guys handle themselves with that situation.
That'd be fun. I always love green flag pit stops. It really puts the drivers through the test, of getting on the brakes and getting back up through the gears and merging on the backstretch there. It's all fun. When you have to do it in a big pack as well, really makes things exciting. It'll be 54 laps to go, John. When we get the green flag right here, I'm going to ask you what you think these guys are going to do. So whatever you answer with, John, they're going to do the complete opposite.
Well, I think they're going to treat this like a Sunday drive. Just hanging around there, chilling out, drinking their iced tea. That's what I think is going to happen here.
So pretty much what we've been seeing all race.
Yeah, pretty much. I hope so anyway. It's been exciting.
Pace car to pit road, lap 22 of 76 going to go in the books. It's Carl Dodson leading the field back to the green flag. The Florida native up north to Alabama is back underway here at Talladega Super Speedway. And a pretty even start there for the most part. Dodson did not get a big jump for him being the leader, and that could have been planned, John. As a leader, you don't want to get a big jump because these guys will have a big run and they'll just fly past you.
Absolutely, and it's not quite as spread out as it was on the start of the race. I mean, everybody's kind of kept up. I mean, it's a little spread out, but they're not, as spread out as they were earlier. In the meantime, Dodson keeps that lead, but he's got some company coming on the outside in the form of Hightower and Jacoby. Pushing that outside lane with the 07 pushing that.
Here comes Hightower. He's got the lead down in turn number 3 as they work through the middle of 3 and 4. Now they even back up, and here comes the 2x2 racing we were seeing just before that caution. That didn't take long. On the first green flag, it took about 5 laps for the 2x2 to form. This one, it's less than a lap, and Hightower trying to get to the lead. They get really tight through the tri-oval. New tires means these guys are going to be a little risky. Look at Jason Jacoby making it 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, he took it up high, and everybody went with him, so it looks like Hightower's hung out in the middle there. Oh, nope, I stand corrected. E.J. O'Rourke ducks down to give him a hand, so he's going to have 2 cars up in that high line there. It looks like Jason Jacoby, and I can't see who the second car is yet. Oh, it's the 07 car, my apologies, of Jason Kinzer. So it's kind of 3x3 here, and it looks like Daly's going to get pushed out to the lead there, Bill.
What about that Sunday drive? This is definitely one of the most frantic Sunday drives I've ever seen.
This is normal for this group.
Hightower pushing Daly out to the lead. Daly going to drop now in front of Carl Dodson. Hightower moves to the outside of Daly. And here comes Jacoby, still on the outside with Kinzer in tow and that 07 machine. 2x2, then 3x3 for a brief moment. Nice little pack out in front of the field here, and then you have to go back, probably about a half a straightaway almost to find another little pack there, and then even further back to find another small pack. So, we're kind of spread out across the whole back straightaway here in 3 distinctive packs.
Yes, we are, and I tell you what, I kind of feel bad for Jacoby up there on that outside line. If he had more help, they could make up some ground there, but it's just him and the 07 car, they're getting further and further back from the front. They're just kind of losing a lot of momentum there. And in the meantime, back up front, Daly is still getting pushed by Dotson down there inside with Hightower and E.J. O'Rourke up high. You watch O'Rourke. We saw it earlier, Ben. He likes that high line, too, that third line up. We might see him duck out there and try to get around those guys in front if he finds some help.
Most definitely 2x2, and boy, they are tight, tail to nose through the rest of the field, through the whole field as they race down the back straightaway, working lap number 26. It'll be 50 to go at the flag stand. And we haven't mentioned the flag stand really all night, John. It's way past the tri-oval, which is not very crucial at this part of the race. But when it comes down to the finish, I mean, you got a couple more football fields to make a move.
And they did that specifically for that reason, Ben. When they designed this track, they wanted to bring some sort of a level of excitement to the way the races were run. And they said, well, hey, let's try this. Let's move the start and finish line way down there towards turn 1. And I think it worked out great, to be honest with you. I love watching races here at Talladega.
I'd say it worked. I don't think I've ever heard a complaint about where the start-finish line was, except maybe from the second place guy.
Yeah, the guy that was leading coming out of 4 and wound up in 9th by the time they got down to turn 1. Yeah, that guy's usually not happy about it.
He wants to rip it up and move it for the next race. But nonetheless, it has provided some spectacular finishes over the ages, not only in sim racing, but on the real side of things as well. Here comes Hightower. Good momentum from the top side. Does he pull down low? He does, and that allows E.J. O'Rourke to pull to the outside of that number 50 machine, and O'Rourke going to try and lead one of his first laps of the night here at Talladega, and he's got help from, remember that guy who pulled over way early in the race, dropped all the way to the inside wall on the backstretch and put the brakes on? Yeah, Bobby Wetzel. He's outside of that second row trying to push E.J. O'Rourke to the lead.
He said, hello, boys, let's have some fun. And here he is pushing O'Rourke up to the front now. Tell you what, Wetzel, we haven't talked about him a whole lot the last few weeks because he's just one of those guys that's had a rotten turn of luck the last couple weeks. And it looks like his luck might be turning around tonight, Ben. He's up there now fighting for the lead.
That he is. And for the most part, very frantic. But this is the calmest these guys have been all race.
You better knock on wood, my friend, because every time one of us says something like that, chaos breaks loose. But you're right. It looks like right now they've calmed down a little bit, just kind of checking each other out, seeing who's got what kind of maneuvers and what they can do with each other. But something they might want to keep in mind is I've noticed that Daly has not gotten off the bumper of Hightower in about a lap and a half. If these guys overheat and blow in front of the pack, it's not going to be pretty.
It'll be disaster. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification from Talladega. Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway. O'Rourke with a run on Jordan Hightower as they go to turn number 1. The lead has been swapped, I'm not sure, 14 officially, John, and that's only at the flag stand. I'm pretty sure it's probably over 50 by now if we went by each time a car has passed.
We've seen one guy get passed 5 times in a backstretch, and I mean, you know, it's been great. This has been a really good race so far, Ben. These guys they're not out of control, but they're definitely not, you know, just relaxed and calm and, oh, we're just going to run around here a few laps. They're pushing each other, they're elbowing each other, they're gouging each other, trying to get every inch of this track they can, and it's made for a great race so far.
That has no short in excitement at all. We started off the run with the 3 wide racing, and then we had a caution, a small crash, only about 4 or 5 cars involved, and we've been green for about 10 or so laps now, just a little less than 10. But for the most part, like we said, this is the calmest they've been all race long, and this is by no means calm.
Hey Ben, I have a question.
Okay.
You know how you can tell when you're at Talladega?
How's that?
When the announcer can say that we had a small crash that only involved 5 cars.
I heard you chuckle when I said that. So
I'm just saying, man. Yeah, it was a small crash, just 5 cars. No big deal.
Oh, man. We had, I do believe we had 43 cars take the green flag tonight. So that's an amazing feat that we still have.
Especially considering what happened at Daytona.
Yeah, still have 39 on the lead lap, 41 still in the race. So that's amazing as we work lap 32.
I'm just watching O'Rourke and Wetzel work together. It's like they can get that edge that almost get out there in front, and as soon as they go into the turns, they lose a lot of momentum. I don't know if somebody's dragging their brakes or what, but right there it happened again, as you can see.
It's really hard when you have two good partners lined up on the inside line. It's hard to clear them on the outside if you don't just hit your marks absolutely perfect. And momentum is a big thing with these cars and the way the draft works in these machines.
Absolutely. If you get too much wheel, it tends to slow these cars down. Maybe not so much at Talladega, but definitely like your cookie cutter mile and a half tracks. These cars are real sensitive how much wheel you put into it, and that definitely causes you some speed. Oh, look at this. We've got 2 guys braving that high outside line again, the 83 and the 15, and they've really got a lot of momentum. Speaking of momentum.
Yeah, what's happened is the 2 cars in the second in line on both the top and the bottom have not been able to push as much as they've liked to be, and that has allowed these guys on that top groove to get a run on the rest of the field. And here they come. You see Byron Daly stepped out in front of E.J. O'Rourke. I'll imagine he'll pull back to the inside in front of Hightower and 1. There he goes. That allows Bobby Wetzel to breathe a little bit, and he'll run up to the back bumper and tag the 41, push him, try and get him to the lead. But here we go, 3x3 for the lead. We go again that's Jason Barham up on the top side in the number 83 machine. John, he started 43rd here at Talladega, and he's going for the lead.
And I'll tell you what, I was watching those guys come, and they were doing a great job pushing each other, keeping their momentum going. They didn't let up at all. And Barham finds himself going from dead last starting spot almost into the lead right here.
Almost, but here comes those 2 bottom lanes. They're going to get the push that they need to surge back ahead, at least for now. So if I'm Barham, I'll fall back in line. I'll wait for those 2 pushers to reach their limit, and then I'll make the charge again. But for Barham, he made up a handful of positions just by going to the top side there. And boy, did you see Comstock come from the bottom to the middle groove there. Close call there in that number 42 machine, but he was tired of riding down low and saw an opening, went for it. And David Comstock is also a big mover tonight. He started way back in 30th. Trey Edson in the number 10 machine. He's up here in the mix. He started 32nd. So a lot of these guys have worked their way to the front from way back at the back of the pack.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the 83 car is back up there again. Oh. Yeah, Barham's up there on the high side. It looks like Hightower got forced up in the high groove. He's going to break the momentum of that high line here. They're going to all have to check up, and that's going to cost them.
Hightower, I don't know how he saved it, but he saved about 20 race cars there in the process. Not only his, but everybody behind him. That could have been really big as he got out of shape just coming out of the tri-oval. We're gonna get the replay pulled up there on that incident to see exactly what happened with Hightower. I looked up John and saw him just shoot up the racetrack, and it looks like maybe some net code there with the 52 machine of Dodson, and that's what sent him up the racetrack there. So a close call nonetheless.
Net code.
For those viewers that don't know what net code is, basically your computer, your sim computer, gives the iRacing server some information. The other driver's computer gives the iRacing server information. And if there's a little slight miscommunication about where you are on the track, then it forms a small invisible bubble around your car. And then that's when you can see contact like that happen when the computer gets confused or when your internet connection gets confused about where the other car is. That's about the best way I know to explain netcode, John, to somebody who doesn't really understand it.
Best explanation I've heard from anyone there, Ben. That was outstanding. Netcode, or whatever you want to call it, what it did was really mixed up our standings up front, put some fast guys into the middle of the pack here, and basically we just got a free-for-all going on from about 8 on back.
That it has, and it's really jumbled up, this lead pack, John. You see those first 7 cars all formed up there, and then kind of 3 wide trying to figure out where they want to ride behind them, and then you got to go back to the other little small pack there. I'm sure they're all accordion back together here soon, but for the time being, everybody just trying to feel their new surroundings, I suppose, after that mix-up at the front.
Well, Comstock's got Hightower in tow, and they're working that high outside line there, trying to work themselves around a 31 car at the moment. If they don't get any help, though, up there, I don't think they're going to make up a whole lot of room.
At least not for now. As see on that camera angle there, Bobby Wetzel in the number 9 machine has some damage to the rear bumper, as does Comstock in the 42. So some of these guys might be getting aggressive, or John, when Hightower had the incident there, could have checked up and then could have gotten run into from behind. Nonetheless, Carl Dodson has taken the lead, and E.J. O'Rourke is challenging. It's perfect time while they're 2x2, slightly calm. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back just in time for green flag pit stops from Talladega.
Slightly calm.
There are first of its kind in everything. First car, first house, first top 5.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to North Alabama's Talladega Super Speedway right here on the Sim Racing Network. Tonight's race is being brought to you by Fast Track Sims. For your professional sim racing cockpit, be sure to visit fasttracksims.com. From full hardcore mode to just the beginner versions, Fast Track Sims can hook you up. fasttracksims.com. Find them on Facebook. Just search Fast Track Sims.
Working lap Ben.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Yeah, working lap 41. Yeah, we were under commercial there, and we said we were slightly calm, and for a brief moment, David Comstock decided he wanted to take a train around the top side of Talladega Super Speedway, and it got hairy there for a minute, and we got doubled back up, and now here comes Comstock again, trying to challenge on that top side.
Yeah, I was watching that, and Wetzel decided he wanted to jump up there and be part of that train. And everything was okay, even though they got jumbled up. And then they all ditched Wetzel on the outside. Let me tell you something. I've learned one thing in 20-some-odd years of sim racing. There's 2 people that you don't want to piss off when you're racing. That's the league owner and the admin. And they just, I mean, they dumped poor Bobby Wetzel, and he went from 3rd to like 20th, man. But anyway, we got a great fight up front, folks. We got Comstock getting pushed on the high line by the 50 car of Hightower. You got E.J. O'Rourke down there in the middle with Jordan Jacoby pushing him. And then down the inside, we got Byron Daly being pushed by Carl Dotson for a 3x3 contest. Oh, my goodness. That was, I don't know where O'Rourke thought he was going there, but that was close.
Well, I think he's going to the inside, John, and he's taking the lead for the first time tonight, clearing that inside line. And how about that? Daly says, well, all right, if you're going to pull in front of me, I'm going to put the bumper, and we're going to get this draft going. Here we go. We're going to go 4 wide again. Another salute to the fans. It's going to be a crash. What? No,
oh my God,
he saved it. Jason Jacoby has saved that machine, and I am still in shock. I can't believe it. I cannot believe he saved that car.
But he's going back into the fight. He's not done.
If I was Jacoby, we're going to get the replay pulled up here because we just can't not look at the replay. I mean, he was so sideways, I thought for sure the caution was going to come out anyways. But, oh my, look at that. I can't believe it. I can't, John.
Insane. That's insane. That is some of the best driving in these cars on this track I have ever seen, Ben, ever. And I've been doing this a long time, brother.
You put anybody else in that seat, you know, and we could have wrecked half the field there. But Jason Jacoby, with the experience under the hood of that number 88 machine, man, oh man.
Unfortunately, Ben, he's got some heavy damage on the left front and definitely on the rear end on that car, but it doesn't seem to be slowing him down, though. That's the good news.
I was going to say, I don't think he's taking his foot out of the throttle just quite yet. If I was him, though, I would have had to make a pit stop. One to catch my breath, and then the other to change the fire suit. And here he comes again.
He goes on the outside.
He's like, okay, I almost wrecked. No big deal. I didn't wreck, so let's go 3 wide. He's up there by him. Oh, now they go.
Crash. The 07 got touched, and he's spinning and wrecking.
And they're going to crash. Nelson Rivera is involved, and the rest of the pack is going to come through, and everybody gets slowed up in time. Mike Kelly, a championship contender, involved. Bobby Wetzel's in it, and Jason Kinzer.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but it looked like Kinzer came up into Daly there, and I mean there was just nowhere for Daly to go. They're moving so fast, you can't just stop these cars, especially at Talladega. And unfortunately, you know, Kinzer wanted to get up high, and I guess he didn't realize that he had somebody out there outside of him.
Trey Edson got a piece of that in the number 10 machine as well, and then it was Mike Kelly further back that checked up, and he got contact from Wetzel. Wetzel made contact with the 22, so just a bad incident there. Another chain reaction crash, but again, for the most part, 5-6 cars involved. Definitely have not seen the big one tonight, although we could have seen the huge one part 2 just a couple laps ago with Jason Jacoby. Yeah,
I'm knocking on the wood.
Man, oh man, I'm still at a loss for words, John. I just can't believe it.
That move by Jacoby, man, I'm just wow. We have got to talk, whether he wins or finishes dead last in this. We got to talk to him tonight after the race.
Well, we're going to talk to him under this caution period. How about that?
I think that is a fantastic idea, good sir.
We'll do that. We'll let him pit. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll talk to Jason Jacoby and run you through how we're going to restart this race. When we return, you're watching the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series live from Talladega.
To dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway, and what a race! We are having a whiz of a time here in the broadcast booth, as we are. We're getting laughed at in my ear. We had some communication there under commercial that was quite funny, so I had to make a joke about it. But John, all that aside, what a race, man! You couldn't ask for a better race here at Talladega Super Speedway. The draft package with these cars, the experience with these drivers. I mean, this is, all in all, the best show anyone could ask for on a super speedway.
Absolutely. Cannot disagree with you on that one, Ben. These guys are leaps and bounds from where they started the season off at, if you ask me. Now, I'm not trying to knock these guys at all. That's not what I'm saying. But at Daytona, let's just be completely honest, it was a crash fest. Granted, 40% of the field was wiped out in the very first wreck on the first lap. But, I mean, every race since then, these guys have gotten better and better. The more they race around each other, the more they learn each other's nuances and driving techniques. It's been great. And this tonight, agreed wholeheartedly, this has been the best one so far.
That it has. Tonight's racing is brought to you by the Ford Entertainment Group, from beginner to extreme hardcore. Be sure to hit up Jeff over on Facebook or on the iRacing PMs. All of his info on screen right now. Like the Ford Entertainment Group on Facebook, and he'll set you up with top-notch gaming PC. Prices are absolutely unbeatable, and proud presenter of the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series here in Sim500 action, and a proud supporter of this broadcast tonight. Jordan Hightower will lead us back to the green flag. John, let's go ahead and take a look at the RacingBids.com current standings. Hightower will lead us back, and it's Comstock. Nigel Standish, haven't mentioned him at all tonight in that number 85. Started 28th. He's up to 3rd. Nick Silver is 4th. Carl Dodson will restart 5th. Jason Jacoby somehow is still in this race and will restart 6th. 7th is E.J. O'Rourke. Dan Denayer is 8th. Steve Sheehan, championship leader, who is slowly starting to make his way back into the picture, John. We see this every week with Sheehan. He's up to 9th. And Tommy Ryan rounds out the top 10.
I'll tell you what, Sheehan does not fail to impress me every week. He's, doing everything in his power to be there at the end, which is what a good championship caliber driver does. And Comstock just dropped back down to the pits there, Ben. Do we know what's going on with that?
I saw quite a few drivers drop down, John, so I'm thinking some of these guys are maybe have some concerns about fuel in the run to the finish. So it'll be just under 30 laps to go when we get the green flag.
26, I believe, or 25, somewhere around there, because they just went the one to go. So yeah, they're probably thinking they're going to stretch it out. This will be their last stop. This will be interesting to see.
So, far from over, but already past the halfway point here at Talladega Super Speedway. So that'll shake the top 10 up just a little bit. That allows Brian Boris Cook and Nick Timms to enter the 9th and 10th position. on the racetrack. So here we go. Set to go. We'll restart on lap number 50, John. Be 27 laps to go at the flag stand. So, man, I don't know. Fuel strategy might come into play.
This is going to be fun. I hope you people are awake out there, because if not, you're about to miss one hell of a show. I'm going to keep my eye on that 88, Ben. He's been Mr. Excitement so far tonight, I think. Definitely had our breath taken away there with that, hey, guys, look at my door number maneuver he pulled back there. But, yeah, that's what I call that. I mean, when a guy is that sideways where literally the field can see his door number, you just got to you either cry or scream in joy at how awesome it is to watch. You know what I'm saying?
And we're deeming it the door number maneuver.
Yes, absolutely.
That'll go in the dictionary.
Look how tiny my door number is, guys.
That'll go in the dictionary right after wiggly loose.
All right, we're coming to green here, Ben. What's your take on this, man? We're going to stretch this thing out and go all the way green.
Oh, let's hope so. I mean, we've seen some unbelievable racing so far tonight. Just absolutely spectacular pack racing. You don't see pack racing like this in every league. You don't see it in official racing. These guys know how to do it. They're comfortable around each other. They know how to make some dicey moves, but do it smartly. And we're going to see a heck of a race to the finish here at Talladega Superspeedway. 27 laps to go. Working lap 49. We'll complete it when we get the green flag. It's Jordan Hightower and Nigel Standish on the front row. We're back racing at Talladega.
I tell you what, Hightower gets out to a decent start there, but there's no lead for him at all, really. That outside line's got a little bit better organization as far as their pushing goes, and it looks to me like the Standish car might have something for the Hightower car.
Got a little separated from Dodson there in turn number 2, but for the most part, they're still side by side as they race to the back straightaway. I tell you what, everybody got a good jump. That restart, John, no separation through the whole field. And here comes Standish on the outside line, looking for the lead as they race down into turn number 3. Side by side they go.
The 50 powers back on the inside with some help from the 15. In the meantime, back behind them, we got Hightower coming up there with the 45 behind him, the outside line. And look who it is down there on the inside. Steve Sheehan, our points leader, he's got some help also.
Always finds a way. I mean, there was a moment of the race at Texas Motor Speedway, John, a couple weeks ago, where we thought Sheehan would not even... Oh, big one! Standish hard into the wall. Caution out. It's number 85 of Standish going around. Carl Dodson's in it. He's toast.
That looks like some bump drafting gone bad there, Ben.
Bump drafting gone bad, and I'm not going to say big one, John, because even though that happened basically from the lead, I mean, most of the field was able to avoid.
I'm looking at that. I'm just dumbfounded by how we didn't see another Daytona wreck. It was, let's just say it was good driving, and we'll leave it at that.
Contact, nonetheless, from a couple machines, but again, just a 4 or 5 car incident yet again. And that happened from the front of the field, but our producer just mentioned it in our ear. The car we have to look at, though, John, is leader Jordan Hightower with a ton of damage to the right side of his machine. He got the Standish machine got turned down into Hightower, and pretty good lick there for the 50. He's already got that left side damage from the earlier contact, which almost put him in the wall. Now add the right side damage, and I don't know. I think I'm going to have to come to pit road if I'm Hightower on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have to get some repairs done there. That thing's banged up pretty hard. I'm like you, man. I don't know how that wasn't a bigger wreck, but thankfully it wasn't. So we still have some very competitive cars in the field, but I feel bad for Standish, man. He was making a heck of a run, heck of a charge on the outside line there. But look who survived all that melee also was the 88 car, and he's going to be lining up in second. Hightower pits right here.
He was right behind Standish and Dodson. I mean, he was pushing Dodson, so it's a miracle that he made it through. Jordan Hightower going to head to pit road. We're going to pause for station identification. We'll go back to Talladega Superspeedway. Leader Jordan Hightower heads to the service of his pit crew. I'm going to try and get some of the damage fixed on that right side, John. That'll allow the number 15 machine of Nick Silver to inherit the lead, putting Jason Jacoby second and points leader Steve Sheehan third. Brian Boris Cook, where did he come from? 41st is where he came from. He's up to fourth, and Sean Doerr coming from 40th up to 5th.
Wow, that's a heck of a shake-up up front there. I mean, we got guys that we really haven't talked about a whole lot tonight coming up front there. Ben, I was looking at pit road there. We had a lot of takers come down pit road also. Not just guys with damage, but guys topping off for fuel in the hopes that this goes green for the rest of the way and getting some fresher tires on there. Bad news for our former leader, Jordan Hightower. The damage is still pretty significant on his car, so we're going to have to see how he handles from here on out.
It is. Let's talk to a driver real quick, John. The driver who's leading the race. We've seen him all the way up against the wall. We've seen him down low. We've seen him with cars sideways in front of him. Nick Silver, Ben Kilcrease in the SRM broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it's been a wild race, to say the very least. So far here at Talladega, you're in the lead with this thing, Nick. We're getting to around the 20 to go mark. It seems like it's been go time since the drop of the green flag. Is that what it feels like in the car?
Yeah, I've pretty much been white knuckling it from the start. I don't even know how the heck I got here, but yeah, it's been pretty much a game of leapfrog, it seems. Now, with these cars, the way the draft package is, are you comfortable in the lead here, or are you gonna maybe want to fall back a couple spots and maybe try and be the guy on offense on that last lap, or are you just gonna let it shake out? Well, I'd love to be leading, but I got a feeling, like I said, I'm gonna get leapfrogged here. I'd rather be the guy though in second, coming to that white flag. I really feel like if you're the leader on the bottom, you're pretty much a sitting duck to a run on the high side.
Most definitely. Well, Nick, we thank you for taking the time to talk with us under this caution period. We wish you luck here in the final closing stages of this race.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy it.
Nick Silver going to lead us back to the green flag at Talladega Super Speedway, and doesn't know how he got there, John. He just might have had his eyes closed half the time.
He closed his eyes and just let it ride. It looks like Standish has pulled his car behind the garage there, man. He's done for the day. That's a shame, too. Yeah, pretty strong car there, Ben.
Had it in and he worked his way through the field and was looking to have a good finish coming out of Talladega tonight, but behind the wall he goes. That'll put still 38 cars, though, on the track, 36 of those on the lead lap. December 7th through the 9th is the inaugural online snowball showdown, beginning with Friday night Fast Track Sims pole night, where we'll set the field for the iRacing iFlag at 100 on Saturday, and the snowball showdown 300 lap super late model event on Sunday. That's not this weekend, but next, just around the corner, in almost 100 entries across the two divisions for this event.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of people, Shaq.
That is a lot of people. It's going to be one of the most historic races in all of iRacing, so be sure to tune into that on the Sim Racing Network, or if you're interested in signing up, be sure to go to the simracingnetwork.com/snowball.
You know what I'd like to see, Ben?
What's that?
I'd like to see some of them airboat races, and we can call it the Gator Derby.
maybe in the next build.
I'll talk to Steve Myers about that. I'll get them on that real quick.
I hear you. We have day to night transitions. If you haven't seen the previews of those,
the video of that is amazing.
They've been teasing us, man. Can't wait.
You know what? I will say this: iRacing, of all the things that they're expert at, I'd have to put teasing at the top of that list.
Most definitely. Getting set to take the green flag. Let's take a quick break, John. We're gonna catch our breath.
Please, I need a refill.
Yeah, I hear you. We're gonna catch our breath, get ready to go to the finish here. It's gonna be a wild one to finish it off here at Talladega. We'll be back from Alabama.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway as we get set to run you down to the checkered flag. 21 laps to go here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series.
We going back to green, Ben?
We're going back to green.
Oh, man, I got to hook up my other oxygen bottle. Hold on a second. I'm going to need air.
We might have to share it by the time we're done, so don't hog it all.
10-4. Well, here we go, brother. That pace car is about to drop off.
And he is. It's Nick Silver, Jason Jacoby, Steve Sheehan, Brian Boris Cook, and Sean Doerr. Top 5 as we're set to go back racing. 21 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. Do we go green the rest of the way? And how wild does it get? Checkered flag is getting closer and closer. We're back underway.
Silver got himself a really good jump there. Spread him out pretty good there. He's got some distance between himself and the 88. And Sheehan down there in third. Kind of a mild restart there, Ben. Wouldn't you say?
That's about as mild as it's going to get in the late running of this one. Here comes Jacoby, looking to the outside. Silver around. Oh, and a big crash. One car up in the air. That's the 70 machine. And the caution will wave.
Steve Sheehan has got to have a golden horseshoe mounted somewhere in that cockpit. On this replay, let's watch Sheehan's car. I don't know how he didn't hit the 15.
I think Sheehan may have got a piece of that. We'll confirm on the replay here, but man, it was wow.
That 70 car of Sean Doerr, just that's some serious air right there.
I think most everybody avoided him because they went under him.
Yep.
Wow. Man, oh man.
That's unfortunate, though. I mean, the 15 car was looking real strong, but when you try and throw a block like that, it's 9 times out of 10. You're right there. We are still green. Wow. I mean, there's cars all over the backstretch, and we're still green.
So the green flag is out. So we apologize for that. Somehow that was not a caution, and we're going to try, and now the caution flies.
Yeah, they just had another wreck on the backstretch. The 48 got spun down the inside, it looked like. We apologize for that, folks. We were just under the impression that with 20 cars flipping through the air, we would have a caution flag. Oh. My bad.
John, this track was built on ancient Indian mounds, and if that doesn't prove anything, then...
I think what happened there was the flagman was busy dodging car pieces flying through the air, and was afraid to stick his hand up with the yellow flag at first.
I've never in my sim racing career. This race has left me absolutely speechless. Brian Boris Cook is leading this deal.
That's a heck of a thing right there. I've known Ben a while. And for Ben Kilcrease to be sitting here trying to find words to say, wow, that's... Man. I love you, Ben. I love you, man.
Whew. So the caution is out now. We can confirm that the caution is out. The pace car is on the racetrack.
And we're going to have to reset the field again, my friend, because this is all mixed up now.
Brian Boris Cook is leading this deal. Nick Timms, Mr. Where did he come from? Up to second. Jason Jacoby somehow is still third. He's wrecked that car 500 times in this race without spinning it once.
I'm saying.
If that's possible. Ooh. Joey Jatina, he was a part of a caution earlier on, and Steve Sheehan rounds out the top 5 with some damage to the front end of that machine. So
did Sheehan pit? I don't even see him right now.
No, Sheehan's still on the track.
Yeah, there he is. You're right.
He sits 5th, yeah. And right behind Sheehan is Jimmy North, and that car looks like it's been through a demolition derby. Mike Kelly is going to be scored 7th, and he was involved in an incident earlier on. Eric Arnold, he was involved in an incident. John, what in the world is going on?
Involved versus the list of who was not involved is might be easier just to cover who. And there's the 14 car of Joey Gattina. I mean, you know, he's not as bad as some of these other. The 48's all banged up. I mean, it's just, oh my goodness, it's devolved quickly, did it not?
Wow.
Well, like I said under the replay, though, I mean, unfortunately, Ben, you and I both know that blocking, even though it is allowed and it's a valid strategy, I don't think you should practice on super speedways. I don't do it myself because of that very reason right there. You throw the block at the wrong time. If it's not timed perfectly, you get that.
That you do, and any other time that'd be a caution. That one did not bring out a caution.
I still can't believe that.
You know what?
As much as we complain about iRacing and their crazy black flags that they give, I've never seen them not throw a caution for something so massive. You know.
I'm with you. I'm at a loss for words, so we're gonna. Hopefully, our producer has some commercials lined up. I know I'm killing him tonight, but we're gonna head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll get what we think will be the green flag. You know, I don't know the meaning of the flags anymore, John. We're gonna have to go through racing school.
Wait,
under the commercial break.
Wait, what?
We'll be back from Alabama. We're gonna sort everything out.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Ever dreamed of being paid to dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere. A message from the Government of Canada.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome
Hey,
back
Ben, you there?
to Talladega Super Speedway. Brian Boris Cook looking at the RacingBids.com current standings. Brian Cook, Nick Timms, second. Jason Jacoby third. Joey Jattina fourth. Fifth to Steve Sheehan. Sixth to Mike Kelly. Seventh to Eric Arnold. Eighth to Chad Coleman. Nelson Rivera is ninth. And Bobby Terrell's 10th. That update of the current standings is brought to you by RacingBids.com, the premier auction site for NASCAR and other racing merchandise. Never miss an opportunity to pick up awesome autographed diecast, shirts, trading cards, and other racing merchandise every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. on the RacingBid.com Facebook stream. You can find that by liking their Facebook. Here we go, John. 15 laps to go now when we get the green flag. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the green flag.
Shades of Papyrus's NASCAR Racing 2003 coming up, folks. 15-lap shootout on a super speedway. What can possibly go wrong?
Well, I mean, we've seen that we can have a big one without a yellow. So
right.
we have that. We have that
and,
on our
and
side.
we can have the big one without the cars too. I mean, you know.
Here we go.
Pace
Pace
the two
car.
front guys wreck each other up front and not do anything. Here we go.
Yeah. Pace car to pit road. Brian Cook, Nick Timms, 2x2. A slow restart here as we are 15 laps from the finish. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway at Talladega.
Mind games, Ben. That was all mind games right there. I tell you what, though, this start, I mean, they're all jammed up. This is going to be an exciting 15 laps because there's no space here. We've got everybody all bottled up here. The 83 still out front with Jacoby in second. Well, second in line down there on the inside, but the 51 pushing that outside line without any help at that.
That he is, and here comes Joey Jattina. He'll finally get some help with the number 14 machine, rather, to the back straightaway and down into turn number 3. 2x2 the field goes as they race through corners number 3 and 4. It's Brian Cook leading this thing off of turn number 4. Jacoby in second. Timms up in third on that outside groove.
I'll tell you what, look at the back through those top 15, top 20, Ben. There aren't very many cars that don't have some sort of damage or some sort of the other. But meanwhile, back up front, the 51 of Nick Thames got a pretty decent little push in the 14, but didn't take advantage of it. Now he's going to drop back a little bit to the 2 car and the 20 also bear that highlight.
I think at this moment of the race, even if it is Joey Jattina pushing you, you know you got to leave him out to dry. You got to go for the win. No friends at all. Under 20 to go at Talladega.
That's right. I mean, it's time to go. There's no messing around now. We were under the gun here. Oh, and the 31 slips up a little bit. They're going to take it 3 wide to get around him. Now this is going to be fun.
That's Byron Day. Oh, and we got a crash behind. One car up and over. 76
the
is
caution's
Brian Cyberry, and the caution is out as Cyberry goes for a ride. Number 76 up and into the catch fencing there. And that was really two separate incidents, it looked like there, John, off turn number 4, but nonetheless, another small incident, putting us under caution yet again.
I think that guy
Talladega.
at the catch fence would disagree with you about it being small. I'm just saying.
Small with the quantity of vehicles.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's a vicious lick, though. I'm pretty sure his race is going to be done. That's unfortunate, but pack racing, man, it's what happens. It looked like it wasn't even blocking or anything. It was just somebody checked up and somebody else checked up and the other guy didn't check up.
There's a lot of checking up that needed to be done that wasn't done.
Very true. That 76 car is just destroyed, man. Wow.
Well, a couple guys that didn't want to see this caution was probably Jason Jacoby and Nick Timms in that 51, running now second and third. They probably thought they had something for Cook there on that restart, but they'll get another chance as working on 12 laps to go now. Probably be under 10 to go when we get to green flag.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not going to have a whole lot of time left when we go back to green, so I expect to see the aggressiveness notch up a little bit there, Ben. What do you think?
I think so. It's way past go time, and like we were talking to Nick Silver earlier, he said since the drop of the initial green flag, it felt like go time. So it's definitely been go time, whether these guys want it to be or not. And now, though, under 10 to go, I mean, and it's definitely ramping up. Brian Cook's going to have a lot of drivers behind him wanting to get around him. One of the most hungry ones I know in that top 5 is Jason Jacoby, John. He has had a chance to win pretty much every race so far this season and has been caught up in either bad luck or a pit stop mishap or just a crash in general. But man, oh man, Jacoby is just itching for that first win this season. Brian Cook, don't get me wrong, he wants a win this season. Nick Timms, he wouldn't mind a win. Joey Jattina, he's back there. He'd love a win. And then you have the points leader, Steve Sheehan, he's probably okay finishing 5th. But
yeah, he's just praying he gets through this right now. That's about all he's doing.
But knowing Steve Sheehan, he's going to go for the win. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Even with all the damage.
Yeah, even with the damage. So I mean,
I tell you, I'm looking at this, Ben, and I tell you that Jacoby's got a couple things going for him here. When we line back up for this restart, all of his damage is on the back end. His fenders and his nose look great, so we know aerodynamically he's good. He's going to have Joey Gattina start behind him, whose car is also front end wise relatively undamaged, and behind him is Mike Kelly, another car who is not aerodynamically challenged at the moment, shall we say. So I think that with that combination, if they can get a decent start, stay pretty close to the 63 of Boris Cook there on this restart, I think Jacoby's got a pretty good shot at pulling off the win.
We'll have to wait and see when we get the green flag. And we've seen tonight, John, that Jacoby has been better on the outside groove. So he's going to be up there where he's comfortable, where he's made a lot of moves already tonight. And we'll see if he's got enough to slingshot around that number 65 machine and pick up the victory.
I think it's going to come down to Ben as the when he makes that move. You know what I mean? And hopefully his help will be with him. But yeah, I think you're right. I think if he gets so much as a millimeter clear of Boris Cook, he's going to dive down the inside and take that lead.
Most definitely. As we get set for the restart here, we'll pace another lap or two around the Talladega Super Speedway. Man, oh man, we've seen it all tonight, John. 3-wide racing, 2x2. We haven't seen green flag pit stops tonight. We were getting pretty close to it, but nonetheless, we've seen just some unbelievable stuff tonight. We saw the big one with no caution, and then we have the caution come out just about a lap later for a single car spin. But 5 cautions tonight, John, with the racing we've seen, it isn't too terribly bad.
No, not at all. I mean, and they didn't come all, real fast back to back. They were kind of spread out, which is good. We got a lot of really good green flag racing there, Ben, especially for the first part of the race, almost 20 laps in. So it's been really good. I'm not complaining at all. I really want to see this thing finish under green tonight. I really think Jacoby's got a good chance to pull off the win.
I think we all want to see it finish under green, and let's hope that we see that happen. As we'll probably get the lights turned off at TopDiRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car this time by, which will set us up for around 8 or 9 laps to go on the final restart. Tonight's racing and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Ford Entertainment Group. From beginner computers to the most advanced hardcore, Jeff over at Ford Entertainment Group can get you set up with your custom PC today. All the info on screen now. Find them on Facebook. Send them a PM on the iRacing forums, and they'll give you the best possible price on the market.
I'll tell you what, if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to hook up with Jeff and give me a computer. I always want one of those kind where you can put that little VR headset on your head, Ben, and pretend like you're actually in a race car. That'd be awesome.
If I win the lottery, I might buy you one, John.
Oh, Miss Shy, you my buddy.
I'd probably buy everybody in the race tonight one if only I could win the lottery.
Man, I tell you what, though, I was talking to Jeff a few weeks ago. It's been a while. I did a paint job for his Pro Series driver, and that guy really knows his stuff about computers. I mean, he really does. Just talked to him for a little while. He had at one point a heck of a sim setup. I don't know if he still races or not, but I don't know if you ever saw a video of his sim setup. But man, it was amazing.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've actually raced with him a couple times. He's pretty good on the track as well. Speaking of lottery, Brian Boris Cook, well, he might think he won the lottery by making it all the way up to the lead from 41st. That's only 2 ahead of dead last, John, if you were counting.
That's a long way back, Ben. I mean, that's a long way back.
That's a long way back. So Brian Cook going to lead us back to the green flag with Jason Jacoby on his outside, and a snarling pack behind him will restart with 9 to go.
9 laps, Ben. Some people think that that's not much on a super speedway, but I tell you what, it's plenty for lots of excitement and action to happen.
Going to go by quick. Nonetheless, as we work down the back straightaway for what could be the final pace lap of the evening, and let's hope it is, because if we get one within around 5 or so to go, then it's going to end the race, and we won't get to see one of those spectacular runs to the finish. So here we go. Cleared our mind. The drivers are clearing their heads now. They're thinking in their minds, John. They're trying to figure out where they're going to go. They're thinking they know what's worked early in the race. Is it going to work now for them? What line do they want to be in? Who do they want to be behind? When do they want to make the move? Do they block? Do they step out? All these questions running through the minds of every single one of these drivers. Over 35 of them left on the track, and probably the top 20 have a shot to win this thing. Pace car to pit road for what could be the final time tonight here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's been an up and down race for many. It's been a solid race for few. Brian Cook and Jason Jacoby lead us back to the green flag. It'll be another slow restart as Brian Cook slows the field down all the way to the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We're back underway at Talladega.
Cook got too big of a jump out there, but look at that. Jacoby ducks down behind him, leaving Katina out there high and dry on that high side to fend for himself, and now it looks like, oh, we got a wreck in the back. Caution flag is out again, folks. That might just be the end of the race.
I think we'll get a restart in. That's Richard Swavely that goes around, and he and the number 7 machine of Bobby Terrell challenge, or get together, rather. He was challenging for that position, and just a misjudgment there on the 38 part. Hard into the wall he goes. A couple other cars involved, but nonetheless another caution here at Talladega Super Speedway. Now, this most definitely will be the final. Well, it won't be the final. It could be the final caution tonight, but we will have one more restart, and this will be the final chance for these guys to make it green. But it'll be now less than probably around 5 laps to go for this restart. It's, man, oh man, just when you think it can't get any crazier, we're going to shake things up one more time, restart yet again here at Talladega.
Oh my goodness, the nerves have got to be stacking up on these guys right about now. I mean, especially Jacoby. He, I don't know, I'm not sure what his game plan was there. I didn't really expect him to dive down behind the leader like that, but he did. And well, now we're going to see what's going to happen with this next restart. Basically, the top 10 are going to be the same. Ben, it looks like. Yep, looks like it'll be the same. Maybe some slight jockeying around as far as position goes, but for the most part, still the same. And with Jacoby there, John, I think what he was trying to do, he let Cook get out in front of him, dropped in behind him, got a little sniff of his draft, and was going to look to slingshot to the outside off of turn number 2, and hopefully have enough momentum to catch that outside line and push him and Jacoby would have tried to take the lead. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. I'll go back to Talladega Super Speedway as getting set for the final run of the night. Now, John, if the caution comes out after we get the green flag on this one, the race definitely over. So be it. We get the caution or the checkered. Hopefully, yeah,
it's
I was
the
a little
checkered.
premature on that earlier. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Everybody makes a mistake. Even I make a mistake every once in a while. It's probably I only make about once a year, but yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this top 10, Ben. Looks like we got basically the same lineup down to 6th and 7th as we had earlier. So I stand by what I said. I think Jacoby's going to pull something off here.
Still sticking with Jacoby, man. I honestly don't know. Can I pick the whole top 5?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll pick the whole
top 5 for the win.
Gotcha. The top 5 for the win. Somebody out of the top 5 is going to win this deal.
Somebody out of the top 5 will win this race. I promise you. Then again, I shouldn't say that. We have seen, you and I both have seen the top 10 get wiped out, come out of 4, and the guy in, what was it 22nd that won that race for the benefit? Wow. Yep. Can you imagine that? Going down into turn 3, you're in 22nd place. Last lap. Going into 3. So you're like, oh, well, you know what? At least I finished. And then you come across the line first. Huh? What?
Yeah. Talk about winning the lottery. Back to the lottery.
Right. Can somebody explain that to me?
Well, 22nd right now would be Doug Sigmund, who won back at Daytona. He's back on the lead lap, and I mean, if something happens like that, field clear, he might have a good shot.
I can see Doug toot along there, come through 3 and 4, and the waves just part for him, like the Red Sea.
Oh man. Top 10 as they sit: Brian Cook, Jason Jacoby, Nick Timms, Joey Jattina, Steve Sheehan. That's the top 5. Mike Kelly, Nelson Rivera, Eric Arnold, Byron Daly, and Chad Coleman round out the top 10. Man, a lot of these guys started, inside the top 5. 3 started inside the top 5, but John, over almost 50% of the top 10 started outside of the top 35.
Now, I'm not real good at maths because, I'm just not. But if I had to guess, I'd say our average starting position for the top 10 looks like it's about 20th.
Yep, somewhere around there. Maybe even a little less than that.
Yeah.
But,
it's amazing. I mean, it's Talladega. That's what happens.
Yep. Anybody's race, really. The great equalizer is the draft as we get set for the final restart of the night. Final run to the finish. After we get the green flag, the next flag ends it, so be it the caution or the checkered. And we'll be back just in time for the drop of the green flag. You're watching the Ford Entertainment Cannon Series live from Talladega Superspeedway on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Four laps to go when we get the green flag here at Talladega Superspeedway. 4 laps between one of these drivers and a checkered flag at Alabama's biggest and finest facility, Talladega Superspeedway. Lights off, John, and here we go. 4 to go, and anybody, you know, in the top 20 thinks they can win this thing, so it's going to be really wild. And it's going to get really wild really quick in these final 4 laps.
You trying to say these guys might be aggressive, Ben? Is that what you're trying to say?
You know, I think they're going to go about 20% on the aggressive.
20? That's all?
Oh, I'm sorry, 120.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. You like lowballing it there. Man, I tell you what, Ben, this is probably going to be one of the most exciting restarts we've seen so far this season with these guys. And I am still sticking with my pick. The 88 for the win.
Still sticking with mine, top 5. So here we go as we get set to go back racing. Now, for those fans that don't know, iRacing.com, I mean, we have dynamic tracks we have coming pretty soon, day to night transitions, but we have not yet implemented a green-white checkered into the simulation. So no matter what happens on this restart, the next flag will end the race, whether it be the checkered or the caution. You got to keep that in mind when you're racing up front, John, because at any point the race could be over. Pace car to pit road. Here we go. Final restart of the night. Brian Cook, Jason Jacoby. 2 very different stories in this race, but each one want the win as much as the other. Green flag is back in the air. We're back underway.
Wow, he got snookered. I'll tell you what. Jacoby got snookered, but he's got some help on that outside line. He's got somebody pushing him. That's not something our leader has right now. And looked like he wanted to try and jump up there and block a little bit, but he missed it. So it looks like Jacoby's going to inch himself up next to the doors of the 83 with the help of the 14 of Joey Gattin. Down on the inside there, we got the 51 pushing our leader, Byron Cook. The 51 is Nick Tane.
Here we go. Top 4, 2 by 2 as they race to turn 3. Cook with help from Timms. Jacoby with help from Jatina. Racing for the lead off turn 4.
coming down to 2 laps to go. Oh, no.
Oh.
Jacoby's going to get ditched out there. That's unfortunate. He's going to be hung out to dry, so he's going to lose his momentum. But he's got Steve Sheehan, the points leader, coming to give him some help, along with, is that Daly in the 08 car?
That is. Got to be careful. Got to be careful here. They're getting dicey. They're getting dicey. 3 to go at Talladega, and here comes Jacoby.
The momentum with Jacoby coming on the outside line. We thought he was done back there. He got some great momentum with a push from Steve Sheehan.
They're crashing.
Oh, this is it, folks. It's going to end it.
The race is over.
And I believe that win's going to go to the 41st place starter of Brian Boris Cook and the number 63 Kodak Films entry.
How about that? Another couple seconds and Jacoby was going to have the lead, but Brian Cook holds on to it there. Unbelievable race here at Talladega. He'll officially get the 2 to go signal right here. He's just got 2 more pace laps around the super speedway, and he'll pick up the victory.
All I can say is this, Ben. Are you not entertained?
That was the run we were looking for there. We were kind of hoping to go all the way to the checkered, but man, oh man, nonetheless, a spectacular finish to this one here at Talladega Super Speedway. They'll catch the pace car. Now it's just a lap and a half for Brian Cook from 41st to the win here in Alabama.
That's impressive. I don't care who you are. I mean, 41st starting spot. It's a full field, Ben, in iRacing, of all places. To come up from 41st to first and win is an outstanding feat. I don't care who you are.
That it is, and he'll catch the pace car over here in turn number 4. Just got to pace around 70 miles an hour. That's going to be, he's got about 3.5 miles.
That's going to feel like 5 miles an hour. You know that, right?
Nope, about 3.5 miles to pick up the victory, but it's going to be one of the longest 3.5 miles he's ever driven inside of a race car.
I think he's trying to bump draft the pace car. It's not going to help. It's really not going to help. Luckily
I think he's just excited.
Yeah, look at him. Luckily for him, the pace car is no longer a solid object. I don't know how many of our watchers or fans remember the good old days of Papyrus's NASCAR Racing 2002, but the pace car was actually a collisionable object, Ben. And I was in a league race one time, a points race for a league race at Pocono. And when the first caution flew, the pace car came out of the pits and wiped out the top 20, the entire top 20 of the field. I think out of the 20 cars it hit, 2 of them were able to restart.
Wow. Those were the good old days.
The replay was so amusing because if you watch it from just the right camera angle, all you see is a bunch of cars just all of a sudden start flying through the air from about mid-pack going forward. It's the most amusing thing in the world to watch.
Man, oh man. Back in the good old days. In present day, though, it's Brian Cook circulating for the final time, the penultimate lap here at Talladega Super Speedway. And 70 mile an hour feels like you said, 5. He's going to pick it up. One guy who wished it stayed all the way green would have to be that 88 of Jason Jacoby. Man, he was coming with a head full of steam with that outside groove lined up. And him and Nick Timms on the inside line. He was kind of hoping it'd stay green. Sheehan was right behind Jacoby there on the outside. You know, Sheehan, he started first, John. Dropped back outside the top 30 at one point in this race. And yet again, finds himself back inside the top 5 at the end of this deal.
I was just about to say, it's every week with Steve Sheehan. He's captain consistent. You know, captain consistent. The guy doesn't always start up front, usually starts up close to the front, and, you know, through whatever circumstance, finds himself back, mired in the pack, you know, midway through the race, and then unbelievably at the end of the race, boom, there he is.
Yep, out of nowhere. Joey Jattina's going to round out the top 5. Good run for him as he started back in 14th, but again, he was involved in a couple incidents and dropped outside the top 30 at one point, I do believe, as well. So just a good race for all of the top 5, and most of the top 10 had a good showing as well. But here we go for the final time through the tri-oval. Very, very slower than what they're accustomed to going through here at 200, 205 mile an hour. But Brian Boris Cook, the driver in the number 63, started 41st, and he just subtracts the 40 from that for his finish. First at Talladega, and he's going to go directly into burnout.
That's the
how awesome is that
right there? I'm happy for that guy. That's got to be a great feeling, man. It really does.
So Brian Cook going to burn him down.
Watch the 8 car.
As the rest of the field going to pace around. Cook, he didn't waste any time. He was ready to burn tires off the rear of that machine. We'll talk to him and the rest of the podium finishers right after this. You're watching Sim500 action live from Talladega.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway, as we've just witnessed a unbelievable event, to say the very least, from sideways cars to upside-down cars with no cautions, 3x3 racing, and a spectacular finish to finish it all out with Brian Cook coming from virtually dead last to pick up the victory. We'll talk to him in just a minute, but right now we're going to send it down to John Mushton, who is caught up with our third-place finisher, Nick Timms. John?
Thank you very much, Ben. Nick, thanks, my friend. Man, what an exciting finish to this race, buddy. You had a very eventful evening. Why don't you tell us about your run?
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, started mid-pack, fell to the back, and lost the draft there for a little bit. But thanks for some cautions, got us back up there.
We were watching that finish, and it looked like you guys, 2x2 all the way down to the line there. You were trying your best to push. Did you have a plan to try and get by, or were you just happy with them push them across the line?
Yeah, I thought about, you can always second guess it after the race, but I thought I'd cleared Jacoby down the back straightaway and was going to try to jump up there and let his momentum try to carry me past Boris. But I ended up staying with Joey because he had come back down to the bottom line and thought maybe we could attack them together, but it just didn't work out with the cautions and everything.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to see that last caution come out. We were really looking forward to watching you guys duke it out, going down for the finish there. But congratulations on a great run, third place. That's going to help you out in the point standings. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for your run tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank Hitman Racewear, hitmanracewear.com, and the Green White Checker podcast every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock.
Fantastic. Thanks again for your time, Nick. Again, congratulations on the third place run, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for all you do.
All right, back up to the booth, Ben.
Nick Timms pretty excited after a third place finish. Now John's going to work his way down pit road to catch up with the driver who was just so close to getting that victory here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Second place is a good run, but John, I think he wanted to finish just one ahead.
That's right, Ben. I'm down here with Jason Jacoby, my friend. That was a hell of a run tonight. I had my money on you, Jacoby. I was watching you work that outside lane all night long. You were really working it good, making some great moves. Had a lot of momentum coming down to the line there, but that last caution looks like it ruined your plans.
John, I really appreciate it, man. First of all, it's great to be with you and Ben and Mitch. You guys do such a great job with the broadcast. I hope more people find out about you because it's really awesome watching you guys. But, yeah, I mean, as far as that race goes, I thank Steve at the end for the push, Joey for the push. There was a lot of guys I was able to work with, or they were working with me. I'm more of the type that don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but I kind of hang people out to dry a lot at the super speedways and, sometimes feel guilty about it. But, I want to put on a good show, and that's what it's about. For my stream viewers, I want to try to make it exciting. And at the end there, congrats to Boris. It's really cool to see him get a win. And, especially at Sim500, I'm really excited about the Joe Gibbs offseason action series. And so I was actually really happy to see Boris win.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, watching you tonight was it was awesome to watch, man. The moves you were making out there. And as far as hanging people out to dry, hey, brother, this is racing. This ain't a social event. You know what I'm saying? You're not here to make friends. You're here to make money. So great job. It was really exciting. You're getting so much closer every week to getting that elusive win. I look forward to seeing you do it again next week and hopefully pull the win off.
Thanks,
you got anybody you got anybody you want to thank for your run tonight?
Yes, sir. Let's thank Jeffrey Ford, who is actually the sponsor of this series, Ford Entertainment Group Sim500 series here. If anyone doesn't know, if anyone doesn't have iRacing, the cheapest way to get a computer, guaranteed lowest price anywhere on the internet you'll find. Jeffrey Ford, he does this out of the generosity of his heart, I guess you could say. He builds them and sells them cheaper than anyone. So the title sponsor of the series, you can find him through, if you guys check out my YouTube as well, youtube.com/jjacoby88, you can find the links to contact Jeff and get your new iRacing computer. And thanks to my viewers, thanks to your viewers, and hope to see you next week.
Well, Jason, thanks again for your time, man. Thanks for talking about the Ford Entertainment Group for us, man. I'm sure Jeff, oh, got popcorn stuck there. I'm sure Jeffrey appreciates that. We're going to throw it over to Ben now, who's got our winner in the Old Schools Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview. Ben?
An excited Brian Cook who didn't waste a second to burn it down right after he got the checkered flag here at Talladega. Man, Brian, talk about those final 15 or so laps. You have to survive a couple restarts, you have to survive a couple runs from behind you, but you held on and you got the checkered flag there in the end.
Yeah, buddy, man, that was fun. You guys saw where I started, right? Did you see where I started?
Oh yeah, back in 41st. We said virtually dead last, but to be honest, 43 started. So you didn't start dead last, but pretty close.
Man, that was so much fun. Such a great league. I mean, we had some cautions, but overall, it was just such a fun group of drivers to race around, and we were going 3 wide through the middle. It was a blast coming up from the back. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. This is my first win with Sim500. I've been racing for a year and a half with them, so I'm stoked.
That's awesome. First win. Couldn't have asked for a better way to grab it either here at Talladega and the race that we saw. I mean, you mentioned it, pack racing aplenty. How was it coming up from 41st? Because we didn't talk about you. No offense, we didn't talk about you till about 20 laps in, and then all of a sudden here you are out of nowhere from at the back of the field. And I know it had to be a blast working through the field.
It's intense because that bottom line just clogs up, and you feel like Superman out there as you shoot past them on the outside, and then you kind of look for a lane to drop in there on the inside and just try it all over again. And I love it when I can get up top. I had Nick up there helping me a few times in the high third lane. That was the most fun. So appreciate the push from him, but it was a lot of fun. Cars sucked up really well, and man, you felt like Superman out there just going fast.
Superman ends up on top tonight here at Talladega. Brian, who you want to thank for putting you here in victory lane?
Hey, just thank Joey and the whole Sim500 crew and everybody, and you guys for doing the broadcast. And we're starting up next week on Monday with the JGR Sim Racing Series, and I know y'all will be doing that. So looking forward to that.
Glad you mentioned that, Brian. We look forward to Monday. We look forward to next Tuesday also here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series at Charlotte. We look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Brian Cook, your winner tonight here at Talladega Super Speedway. Felt like Superman, John. I would too if I came from 41st to the win at Talladega.
I'm telling you, that is a great analogy. Best one I've ever heard, and he's right when you're feeling that. When you've got that momentum and that push on the outside line, Ben, here at Talladega, there's nothing like it. You're just flying by cars on the inside, and you know you're going to the front. You're going to get there. No doubt about it.
Man, what a race. Let's run through the racingbids.com final finishing results for tonight. Brian Cook, of course, coming home with the win. Jason Jacoby comes home second. Third, Nick Timms. Fourth to your championship leader, Steve Sheehan. Joey Jatina comes home in fifth. Sixth to Byron Daly. Chad Coleman is seventh. Eighth, Mike Kelly. Ninth, Chris Caboo. And Nelson Rivera rounds out the top 10 as the rest of the field will scroll across your screen there. John, we prepare to pack up from Talladega, head to, a cookie cutter next week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for, I do believe, 110 laps right here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series with Sim500 action. That's going to be a fun one there as well. These cars are really fun on the cookie cutters because the draft, it's still a big factor, and they stay all sucked up in a big pack most of the time.
Yeah, that's true. And also, one of my favorite things about the cookie cutter spin is tire wear. Tire wear really comes into effect for those tracks. So I'm looking forward to Charlotte. It's one of my favorite tracks to go to. I've been there in real life also. I actually got to help Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s crew push his car onto the starting grid back in '94, I think it was. Yeah. So
pretty interesting.
So it was a great time. But I'm looking forward to it, man.
That's next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Next Monday is the Joe Gibbs Racing off-season Sim Series right here on the Sim Racing Network. It'll be broadcasted live right here on our Facebook, but also live on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. So, John, as we head out of Talladega tonight, any final thoughts from Alabama's Super Speedway?
Thank you, Ben. For those of you that know me in the world and have known me for a while, you know that last week my wife and daughter were involved in a car accident, and I just want to say thank you to everyone for the thoughts and prayers that you've all given through social media and personal phone calls. Folks, you've heard Ben say this every week now that we've been on the air. Put down the phone. Don't text and drive. Don't play with your phone while you're driving, because it causes bad things to happen, and this is a case of that. So please, if you're driving, don't text and drive. Don't play with your phone. Pay attention to what you're doing. Watch the road, and safe travels to everybody. Ben, looking forward to next week, buddy.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So for John Mushton, Mitch Rollo, I am Ben Kilcrease. We thank you for tuning in. Be sure to give us a like on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. For all of us here at the Sim Racing Network and everybody at Sim500, we wish you the best of the week. We'll see you Monday night for Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series. Good night from Talladega Super Speedway, and remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put that phone down.